So everybody give it up for James Quick, Microsoft Developer Evangelist.
There we go. All right, so as you can see, and as I said, my name is James Quick. I'm a Microsoft Technical Evangelist in South Florida. Specifically South Florida, there's another in Tampa, but I will be in this area. Here at IT Palooza, my contact information is up here, my email address, Twitter, my blog that you can follow when I update. So what I'm here to talk about is App Studio.
Yeah, baby.
And App Studio, for those of you who don't know, is used in the browser to make Windows Phone apps. Anybody ever made a Windows Phone app? Anybody think it would be cool to make a Windows Phone app?
Anybody wants to make money?
Yeah.
Phone app. That's what I'm talking about.
That's right. Money.
Show me the money.
So if you have no experience, you can you can use App Studio with no experience, no coding whatsoever, right? So it can take care of that. So for everybody who wants to do a Windows Phone app but doesn't have experience, this is what you need to pay attention to, and this is what we're going to do. So my plan for today, I'm so excited about App Studio. Instead of going through some slides, I'm actually just going to take you through how to build an App Studio app in 15 minutes. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to build an IT Palooza app, fitting, for speakers. It'll show a list of speakers, sponsors, and a couple of other things I'll add in. So with that, I'll go ahead and get started.
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, so if you open up your browser, the website to start building with App Studio is apps.windowsstore.com. And you click Start Building. So this is where you'll start. This is what you'll see when you log in. You can create an app, or you can create an empty app, or you can use a template that's already there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just create an empty app and show you what it looks like to start from scratch to build an app. So I'll click on Empty App, and we'll do a couple things here. There'll be a title, so we'll do IT Palooza. Click on a logo, go to I think it's under my downloads. I'll save some pictures that I can use. So it's the Palooza logo. I'll load that in. Give it a second. There it is. So it's popping up there. And then the description, just this is an IT Palooza app. All right, really simple. So then I will do the next button, and it'll take me to where I actually configure all my app content. So App Studio takes care of all the navigation, all the UI, all the layout and stuff for you. You just need to tell it what kind of information to display. And the way it displays information is with what they call sections. And those are kind of screens in a pivot control that you can swipe through for different pages of information, right? So the first thing we'll do, we'll add a section. Really simple. The first one is going to be, we'll do speakers. And we're going to do a collection data source, which is basically a database that you can reference. We'll call it speakers. And we'll save it with the check mark here.
That's smart. It asks you for the data source first, right?
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yep. And so if you can see, on the right-hand side, you actually see a Windows Phone emulator running in the browser that updates when you update the information.
Wow.
So I want to actually add my content here. So I can go in the data source, which is called speakers. So we're keeping it really simple. And you can do a couple of different things. You can edit your columns. So right now we have columns, title, subtitle, image, and description. I'm just going to leave that there. That's fine with me for now. Let me go back one.
It's almost like a website template, like building your own website.
Yes, it's
really
very
easy.
very easy. So I'm going to create an item. Very simple. So the first one, let's see, title. I'll do myself. I'm a speaker today. And let me get an image of myself. Got a couple of pictures saved here. James. All right. Subtitle. So for subtitle, I'm just going to do the company. So I work for Microsoft. And then description, I am a speaker. So obviously I would do some more information, but to keep it kind of simple and brief, I'm just going to do it very simple here. So I'll save that with the check mark. And then you see it pops up in the grid. All right, so I'm going to do one more. We've got Frank sitting on the side. And I've got a picture of Frank. I didn't get one of Russ, so Frank wins today. I'll load Frank's picture. He works for Slim CD. And Frank is a speaker. All right, very simple. So from here, I want to save that, and it'll take me back to my main content page. And now you can see in the emulator, it actually shows you what that page looks like. The speakers, it has a list of speakers, right? And actually, this section has 2 pages. It has that list that you see right here, and then it has a details page. So you click on a speaker, click on James, and it'll take you to more details about me, where it'll show you the description along with my picture and company that I work for, right? So we're gonna add another one very similar, another section. We're gonna do sponsors. And again, we're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna do a collection and we're gonna name it sponsors. Save that. And then you'll see that also pops up in the emulator, right? So I want to go and edit that data source. I want to add some data to that. So what sponsors do we have?
Component 1.
Yes, component 1.
Very good.
All right, so first I need to edit my columns because there are a couple. I don't need an image necessarily because I didn't pull down any images to have ready. So I'm going to make it nullable, which means I don't need it when I create an item for that database. So I'm going to make that and subtitle nullable. And then I need to check mark that to save it. All right, now I'm going to add my sponsors. So I'll do component 1. And I don't need an image. I don't need a subtitle. I'll just do this description. So component 1 is a sponsor. All right. And then Frank is also representing Slim CD. So I'll go ahead and give them an area on here. So Slim CD description. Slim CD is a sponsor also. So we'll save it. We'll come down, scroll over, and save that as well. So now it shows you what the sponsors page looks like, but it still shows, it's trying to show an image there, but I didn't give it one, right? So I want to change the layout where it's not trying to display an image, and that's going to be under the sponsor page and the sponsors section. That's not a little confusing. All right, so the sponsor page, it just has a list of sponsors, and we're just going to do the left-hand layout that is just going to show, it's going to show the title and the subtitle from that database basically, but the subtitle is going to be null, so it's just going to basically give us a list of titles, so the sponsor names. And that's all I want to show on this page.
But you have a lot of different choices there on how you want that page to look.
Yep, so these are all the different layouts. If you have pictures, they can be arranged all these different kind of ways. You can do a grid pattern, a bigger grid pattern, all these different ones that you can pick from. But like I said, no images right now, so we're just going to stick with this simple layout. So we'll save that one and go back. And then the details page is also trying to show an image, right? So we want to go in and change that layout as well. And we'll do the far left again, I believe. And we want to bind to our description, not the subtitle. So the description is going to be the component 1 is the sponsor, the description that I put in, right? So save that. Now we're back at our
this app is coming to life.
Yeah, so we've got 2 pages now. We've got the speakers and the sponsors. And let's see, let's add an RSS feed to the IT Palooza website. That would be pretty cool. There we go. So instead of using the collection data source like a database, we can actually do a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, we'll do a YouTube.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, yeah, we'll do YouTube first, then we'll do RSS. I got a little ahead of myself. All right, so YouTube is the data source name, and we're actually going to do the component 1 YouTube channel because I couldn't find one for IT Palooza.
All right.
So component 1 fits for me.
And it's all one word.
Yep.
Type it through.
All right, so I go to edit the YouTube data source, and right now it's doing the App Studio channel, and we're going to do component.
Watch this. This is magic.
1.
Hit it.
Refresh. And it's going to pull down all the YouTube videos that are in the component 1 channel.
That's just you, like baby, that. Just like that.
Yeah.
So, and then even cooler, once you save that, take you back to that main screen, it'll display them all over here in the emulator, and you can scroll through all the different videos. It has a nice layout. It's got the picture, it's got the title, the description, and then you click into one and you go to almost a full screen video player that you can click on and play, right?
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. RussCam video right there at the bottom. That's exactly. That was the one for Speaker Idol.
Yeah.
Tech Ed. That's a classic. All right.
They're all classic. They're all classic. You guys should definitely watch them.
Definitely. All right, so I'm going to add a couple more sections. This is going to be the RSS. So I'm going to give a direct RSS feed to the IT Palooza website. So let me save it, just RSS. Again, keeping it very simple. And we'll go in and edit that data source. And then all I need here, just like we did for the YouTube, all I need here is a link for the RSS. And I've actually got that up here. So this is the link that I'm going to use. Just copy that, paste it in here. refresh, and there you've got, oh, 1 second. Give it a second to load. Okay, so there we've got the same kind of YouTube thing that just loads them, populates them for you very quickly, and now that RSS feed is ready to display.
That's how you know it's working right away.
Yep.
Gives you the data, right? It brings back.
And then
Is
you
it
can
credibility?
Also,
So quick.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
And you can see it again. You'll see it in the emulator as well, so that you don't have to test on your phone every time you make a change. You see it right there, right? Mm-hmm. And we don't want to display those pictures because they don't have one for that feed. So we'll just do the left-hand side again, which is just going to show us title and summary.
I got to tell you, I started using this myself, and it's very addicting.
Yeah.
It's your video game reps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do one more. Let's have a good menu, a good section for different links. Mm-hmm. So we'll have some nice links, and we'll do a. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to go back one. I did the wrong thing. I need to, instead of adding a section, I'm going to add a menu.
There it is, yeah.
Yeah, so instead of the section, I'm going to do a menu. We'll call it links, and just very simply right here, you can add an action item.
Yeah.
And you can choose HTTP, so we'll do website, and I'll go and get the website for IT Palooza. I'll copy that in. I don't need an image, and when I don't use an image, it actually gives me a nice little bullet point, which looks good. Mm-hmm. Then I'll do a couple more. So I've got action item. I can do the Facebook page, and it's HTTPS, I believe. Go ahead and copy that.
So you're actually building hyperlinks on a menu.
Yep, exactly.
They'll go right out to the browse at.
Yep, so you can do Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all sorts of cool things. They also have some internal commands that you can give that you can pull up different things within your phone. You can basically call different apps if you wanted to. Not really applicable here, but it's something cool that you can do. So it's just something to keep in mind.
But what about the code, man? I got to have code. Huh?
Yep, all right, so I'm actually done here, right? I've got my speakers, I've got sponsors, I've got a YouTube feed, RSS, all these different links, all that information. Now I'm done. I'm ready to get going with this app. So we have one more step, and this is going to configure the app style, how it looks, the colors basically. So the accent brush, I believe let's see.
Nice, blue. Yeah.
I'm going to keep that white actually and do a light blue background.
Nice.
Matches with IT Palooza. I'm not a visual person, so you guys might want to do some different colors. Mm-hmm. But you can play around with those colors. You can come in and change the live tiles for the phone. So the flip template, it actually creates them for you, so you don't have to do anything. Mm-hmm. You'll see them flip in a second, I believe. Yep, they'll flip, and you can add some words to that. But if not, they have them already built for you, which is pretty cool. All right. So I'm done with that. And now I'm going to go to generate. So there's, while it's generating, I'm going to talk for 1 second about what it's doing. Two really cool things that you can do when you generate an application. You can get a QR code, a little barcode that you can actually take your phone, scan it, and have your app on your phone within 10, 15 seconds to test, play around with, take some screenshots to then take it to the store to submit. You can also download the XAP, which the XAP is the file that you're going to take to the Windows Phone store. And lastly, one of the coolest and the things that separates App Studio away from the different kind of drag and drop tools that you can use for developing apps is the fact that you can pull down source code. And so there's actually download source code button, and to save time, I've actually got one here. Let me go back just a little bit. So it'll give you a folder, an app folder. It just gives you a generic name. Go into the source, and you can actually have a Visual Studio project with all the different folders, and you can open up the Visual Studio project, which I have here.
Nice.
And you see how organized it is. It's got data repositories and all the different things in your project. You can go in and edit it. So this is great for beginners, for people who don't know how to code, but if you do know some code, you can go in and make changes. Right,
I see a view model. That's a well constructed app.
Yeah, they spent a lot of time making the most effective code. So, and I think Russ has a good example.
Well, yeah, funny you should mention that. Let's go ahead and show this. I used a lot of the same templates that he was showing. In particular, there was one about building a YouTube app. And so what I did was I created a RussCam app, and we actually just published it to the store yesterday, so we're waiting on certification, the certification process to finish up. So here's the first page I did. These are all my interviews, and what I did was the code that Jim showed you, I tweaked it slightly because Component 1 has many channels. And Component 1 is a big channel. It has many playlists, is what I'm trying to say. So I found in the code the API call, right, to bring back the Component 1 videos, and I just went and I studied the API calls for YouTube. I think it's just do a search on it. You can find it easy enough. And it was just a couple lines of code, and I actually pointing it at playlists now to give me my specific feeds for each column. So here you got the interviews. Here I got my unplugged episodes, How I Became a Millionaire, Writing Apps. That was a good one by James Verisan. All my TV shows, the one you're watching, will be in this column.
So
right
I will
here.
be on your app.
You'll be on the app, man.
Yeah, superstar.
Karen's on it a lot. She's
on
a lot of
RussCam.
episodes. We got all our webinars. We got the Component 1, all the videos. Now this column here is like what we just saw, right? All the videos that you saw there are the ones coming back. And I did the links like you showed it, and I put the RussCam daily news as one right there. So there's my daily newsletter that comes out. This link alone is worth getting the app, right? Which will be free,
nice.
by the way. Yeah. And that tells you what's going on in this current day. Pretty cool.
You impressed me. That is pretty cool. I like it.
And just to give you an idea, time-wise, it took me one evening to kind of build that shelf, and another evening to kind of study the API calls, find out where the code was, and pretty much one evening of testing. So really, in 3 evenings' time,
Yep.
it's freaking amazing.
Yeah,
huh?
I tell people the biggest time-consuming aspect is just finding the images and what kind of data you want to put on there. That's the biggest thing. So in 15 minutes, I had my app done and ready, and I had those images ready to load up. So in 15 minutes, you can do an app.
That's cool. And when you go to download it or publish it, it'll give you a little cheat sheet. What you got to do to finish it off, you got to snap some images, get it ready to publish. You got to have a 300 by 300 logo,
Yep.
and a description. But basically, and then you got to send up a release version of your Zap. But and I think the about box needs fixing. If you have an about box, you want to put your own disclaimer and that sort of thing. But really minor tweaks at that point. And I'm telling you, great tool.
Yep.
All right, give it
Awesome.
up for James Quick. What a show! Stay tuned for lots more down the road.